Okay, we're gonna make our Egyptian animal bust. I have chosen a fox. I think it just gives you a lot of details that you might be going to want to know. So we're going to start by making a pinch pot. One of the mistakes that happens often is that people just don't make their pinch pot thin enough. So make sure that you have that thinned down to at least no more than an inch all the way around. Then I'm going to start pushing out the muzzle of my fox, and I am pulling up the ears. You can add ears on, but the more that you can just keep your clay one piece, the more stable it will be. I have my photos there from the front, the back, and the side to refer to constantly, because that helps so much. Like, I think I know what a fox looks like, but not until I really look there do I notice the details from the side, the shapes, where the eyes go, that kind of thing. So even how the top of the head is shaped in between the ears, I'm looking at there, and what it looks like from behind. So trying to get all of this uh, kind of started here. There's a couple of places I'm going to put holes clear through, and that will be in the ears and also in the nose, because and also in the eyes. The more holes we have, the more thoroughly it can dry out. Air can escape from the middle. So here I'm going to make the eyes and the eyelids. I start with a very small round ball. I split that in half. I'm going to score and slip that. The clay that I had in this was very, very wet. Probably could have gotten by without scoring and slipping, but it's always a good idea to score and slip. But you're going to see, for sake of time, me skip that on like the eyelids and stuff. But anyway, you can put those eyes on, and then to make them look more realistic, instead of just, bugging out there, we're going to take and roll a really tiny piece of coil and make a top eyelid and a bottom eyelid. Once those are on there, I'm going to use a tool that I can kind of blend the eyelids in and make them look more a part of the fox's face. So it takes a little practice there. I got a little piece of dry clay in there I take out, but that does look a lot more realistic. And then for the pupil, I'd like you to poke a hole clear through, and that'll give it a black pupil, just because there'll be negative space there. So you can see the second eyelid there I'm forming. I'm going to go really fast here because you've already seen this done. Blend that in. Sometimes it's hard to get eyes exactly the same. I wouldn't worry that much about it. It will be fine. There I'm poking holes clear through the ears. And now I'm going to get started on the nose, the muzzle, the mouth, that kind of thing. And I try and give him a little bit of a lip, like usually just at an angle with my needle tool. You can kind of just angle those lips. Here I'm starting the nose, so I'm going to put two holes all the way through, and then his nose is a little bit different than the rest of him, so I'm going to put a line there and kind of shave away some of that clay so that you can see the difference between the black area and the rest. I also will be putting in a line where the white fur starts and stops, because when I get ready to glaze it, I'll want to see that, even though there maybe won't be a line there in texture and stuff. So I have the basis for him formed, but he does not have any fur or texture or anything like that. So I need to make sure that I get that on there. I'm just kind of smoothing things out and making things look good here. So I have a clay extruder, and it's really just a garlic press. You put some clay in there, and out comes a lot of little pieces. Some of this will probably fall off. Again, my clay is pretty wet, so I can just kind of smush it on there and it'll stay. You can trim it down however you want. Sometimes this can make it look really silly, but it also adds some nice details to it also. So some of my fur I'm going to draw on, and some of it I'm going to add on with this extruder texture maker. So right on his cheeks, he has kind of the fluffy part of his fur, and then in his ears. So I added that on, and then the rest of it I'm just going to draw in. You might end up using some of both. I don't like it when you only draw texture in, but if you knew just a little bit of both, it works pretty well. Kind of just have to continue to touch things up, because mine is really soft, and every time I touch something, something else gets messed up. So adding this on. And then the final step will be, I felt like he really did need some whiskers, and even though the whiskers are much thinner than what I can make them, I'm going to add them on fairly thick because we don't want them to break. I'm also going to keep them fairly close to the head so that they're less likely to break. They still can break, but we're going to do the best we can. I'll just give them about 3 on each side, and try and make them different lengths Once those are attached on there, I want them to come out, but not come too far out because they'll more likely break. Then he is pretty much finished. The last thing you need to do is to write your name and homeroom on the bottom of it. And then if you remember right, I only wanted it about an inch thick. Well, mine is kind of curled under and it's gotten a lot thicker. So I'm going to trim some of that extra clay out of there. It's very important it doesn't get too thick, because if you get more than an inch, inch and a half thick, it's going to blow up in the kiln because it'll never get all the way dried out. So there is my finished product.